Alright, Coach Tony, Wrestling Podium Performance here. Today we're going to be starting a new series on cooking. One of the questions I constantly get from clients, send people all the time, is, what do I eat? Or they'll say they don't know how to cook good food. They don't know how to cook healthy food. So I'm going to be starting a new series showing you how to cook simple, delicious food. Today, to start the series, we're just going to be cooking a simple salmon. That's all we're going to be doing is cooking Atlantic salmon. I'm going to be seasoning it with dill, salt and pepper, and lemon. That's it. That's all. So, here we go. Alright, so first things first. We preheat our pan. We want to get it nice and hot. Add a little bit of olive oil to the pan. Next thing, take a simple paring knife. Take the salmon. Flip it over. We want to just score through the scales. From here, just clean up some of the scale work as well. Pan has started to smoke. We want that nice hot pan. Just take salt grinder, quick little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Then we take some dill. You get this at a bulk food store. Here in Canada, in Ottawa, we have Bulk Barn. That's where I get this from. Cheapest way to get it. Take our salmon, and as we're placing it in the pan, you start close and move it away from yourself and press it down firmly into the pan. So now that's going to cook. You want to cook it most of the way through skin side down. The reason why we go skin side down is it allows the heat to permeate through. And since how we scored where the skin is, it's going to allow the heat to come through, and we're not going to overcook or potentially burn the meat of the fish itself. One of the great things about salmon is that it's a fairly healthy food. Atlantic salmon is not going to be as great as like a sockeye or even a coho salmon. Sockeye is going to be very high in your omega-3s, but salmon is still a fairly solid source of omega-3 fatty acids as well as protein. And it's also a very lean fish overall. It doesn't have a lot of excess fat. The fat is kind of incorporated right into the meat. So as you can see, you get a little bit of smoke coming off. That little hissing sound you may hear, that's just any excess moisture from the fish itself being boiled off. So flip the fish. Try to avoid using tongs. You can use, in my case, I use a pancake flipper, or you can get a special fish flipper from basically any grocery store or kitchen appliance store. So at this point, we can now take a look. You want to check if it comes off nicely. As you can see here, it comes up very easily from the pan. That means that it's almost cooked completely through. So for me at this point, I'm going to flip it. You just take it, one quick flip motion, and we cook about 90% of the rest of the way through, top side down. From here, we can remove the skin. Be careful. This is going to be hot because it was just on the oven, on the hot side of the pan. We're just going to let this cook for about another 45 seconds. At this point, things are going to start moving very quickly for cooking the salmon. So this is where we get our lemon juice for that little lemon tanginess. A little bit of acidity with fish is always good. Cuts through some of that. In the case of other fish, it might have a really quote-unquote fishy taste. An acid like a lemon juice or a lime juice is a great way to cut through that. So at this point, it's nearly finished. So we're just going to take a quick little crank of salt, quick little crack of fresh black pepper. The reason for this, with fish, it's okay to salt it fairly heavily and season it fairly heavily. And in the pan, some of that seasoning is going to get cooked off as well. you're going to see a little bit of smoke coming up off of the fish. At this point, we can now check. It moves fairly easily in the pan. So from here, you just take it, flip it over. We turn the heat off at this point because it's got plenty of heat. We're going to take our lemon juice. You can just get this. This is just from Costco. It comes in a 2-pack. Just put it in. Turn our oven fan on. Let this kind of cook off. And then we're done. There you have it. That's all it takes to actually cook a nice fillet of salmon. As you can see, our salmon is now done. It's just resting for a minute while we get the rest of dinner ready, which is just going to be, I'm going to be having this with a Caesar salad. So, cooking delicious, healthy food is not that complicated. A lot of us, we just overthink it. Simplify things, and you can get great results in minimal time. It takes a little bit of practice, just like anything. But you too can have delicious, healthy food with not as much fuss as you think. If you're cooking for more than one person, you just multiply the serving size. That's all it takes. Coach Tony, Wrestling Podium Performance.